Right now, it was town hall week for Democrats in Arizona, and voters had one message. Did Senator Ruben Gallego get it? I'll ask him next.
Also on Sunday Square Off, Secretary of State Adrian Fontes is taking steps toward running for Raul Grijalva's seat in Congress. Will Fontes do it? And what would that mean for our election? A troubled Arizona charter school brings in a Trump lawyer to fight back against a possible shutdown. Bernie Sanders and AOC deliver a new Democratic message to Arizona. Are they the future of the party?
Want a game plan. Like, what is the plan? Like, they're being irrational, we know. There's a plan that isn't favorable to our children, we know. They need to know that we care, we know. Now what?
Foster mother Kiana Brown demanding answers from Arizona's 2 U.S. senators at a town hall this past week. What is the plan, she says, for protecting vulnerable children from possibly deep cuts to Medicaid that provides care for their children? Kiana Brown captivated the crowd, as well as Democratic Senators Mark Kelly and Ruben Gallego. Senator Gallego joins us now after traveling the state this past week. Welcome back to Square Off, sir.
Thanks, Bram.
So, what is the message you got from Kiana Brown and many other people you heard this past week?
Well, throughout the state, too. And I actually spoke to Kiana after the town hall, and we sat down. It's a heartbreaking story. Her family adopted a child from foster care with certain needs that was supposed to be covered by Medicaid, and that was kind of the implicit agreement. And she's worried that because of the Elon Musk, Donald Trump, because they want to cut taxes, they are going to go and they're going to cut people like Kiana and her daughter off Medicaid. And that's what I heard there. It's what I heard in Douglas. It's what I heard in Nogales. It's what I heard in parts of Tucson over this weekend. People are scared. And they understand that, Medicaid is a lifeline, and it should not be cut in order for the Republicans and Donald Trump and Elon Musk to find room for tax cuts for the people who really don't need it.
Well, then there's a kicker on her message, and it is, what is your plan? What is Democrats' plan for fighting back? What would you tell her?
Well, the plan right now is that we need to actually make sure that we understand, and Republicans understand, this will have a negative effect on people in Arizona. 30% of rural Arizona is on Medicaid. 15% of urban Arizona is on Medicaid. That itself right there should tell you how important the program is to the state, to the economy, to people's actually personal lives. And while the Democrats are going to go out there, we're going to make sure people know that this is in danger. We're going to make sure for people to understand who is actually going to vote for this, because you're not going to get one Democratic vote to do this. It's going to be the Republicans, led by Donald Trump, led by some of the Republicans here in Arizona, that are going to do this. We have to make sure that people understand that there will be consequences, that there will be electoral consequences, that, and especially when it comes to people's individual lives, there will be consequences to people losing Medicaid coverage, too.
Part of the anger was stoked by what happened the week before in Washington. Senator Chuck Schumer, the minority leader, accused of basically caving to Republicans. They don't believe Chuck Schumer is the guy to lead Democrats in the Senate. Do you?
I had a very long conversation with Chuck right before the vote. I've had a long conversation with Chuck after the vote. I've made it very clear going forward what we need to do to protect people like Kiana, people that worried about losing, life-saving coverage, and that's where the focus needs to be.
But what about strategy? Because that's what they're really upset about.
Well, the strategy that we need to focus on is making sure we know exactly who the problem is right now. The problem is they want to cut Medicaid. I made it very clear that, Chuck, that's where we need to focus on. We got to make sure going forward that we actually hold the Republicans accountable. But right now, we should not be getting distracted about this, who's in charge, who's not in charge. The problem is, if we don't stop it, we're going to have hundreds of thousands of Arizonans that are going to lose Medicaid coverage. So I'm not going to get involved in this little side fight, because the real fight is I have to fight for Arizona right now so they could keep this life-saving coverage.
Senator Bernie Sanders, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are taking their rallies to Arizona. You got a shout out at the Thursday rally in Tempe from Ocasio AOC. The rally message is fighting oligarchy. Is that a message Democrats can win on?
I'm not sure, because I think a lot of people may not understand what an oligarchy means. But what they do understand is that people like Elon Musk and the very, very rich, his very, very rich friends, do not need another tax cut. What they also understand is they don't need to find that money by cutting the poorest of Arizonans off when it comes to Medicaid, children, seniors that rely on it, potentially closing down our hospitals in rural Arizona because they're not going to have enough funds coming in there, and people are going to start using the emergency room as their primary care doctors. That's what Arizonans understand more than some of these, I think, bigger and grander ideas.
So you're not down with that idea. Is there another idea you prefer?
Yeah, don't gut the poor to give money to Elon Musk. I think actually mine is a little more direct than the oligarchy. It's a very professorial term.
It's kind of long.
I think mine's better.
Let's get to the issues on the table right now. It seems
I think that was the issues on the table.
it seems like every day. Do you wake up every day and wonder what's it going to be today?
I have a 20-month-old daughter. I wake up very early, and that's not the first thing I think about. It's her.
Let's talk about the status of Social Security. There's a lot of confusion right now at Social Security offices. Elon Musk and his team are tinkering in ways that are leaving many seniors confused, cutting staff. We need you to come in and now confirm your identity or do it online. Are they doing this? Is the plan to create confusion, do you think? Or are they actually trying to make it better and install some safeguards to protect Social Security from theft?
Look, Donald Trump went on the State of the Union and lied about Social Security. Just absolutely lied. We heard it. We all saw it. Like, let's accept the fact that he is lying about Social Security. Elon Musk went on another show a couple days later and said that we have to fix and get rid of entitlements. He is talking about Social Security. And then they start putting these actions together. And what they're trying to do is, because they know they can't actually win a vote on the floor of the House or the Senate trying to gut Social Security or trying to make it difficult, what they're trying to do is trying to encourage people not to apply for Social Security, discourage them, to get as many people off the rolls of Social Security so that way they can turn around and, again, use that money to give a tax cut to Elon Musk and all his buddies. That's it. Social Security has been around for, decades now. I've been paying into it since the age of 14. 50% of Arizona seniors rely on it for their sole income when they're retired. What they're doing is dangerous, but the reason they're doing it is because they want access to the funds. They want to be able to give themselves tax cuts, and that's the biggest pot of money out there.
This is a bipartisan issue, though. Republicans, Democrats.
Is
right?
it? I haven't heard any of the Republicans talking about this.
At least among voters.
Well, certainly among voters. No, this is a very, very unpopular move among Republican voters, and not just moderate voters. I think conservative voters. They would feel very betrayed. And it's also really unfair to rural Arizona. If you shut down a Social Security office, which sounds like they're about to shut down a lot of them, and you're going to also not allow people to enroll online or by the phone, you're going to make rural Arizonans drive all the way to Phoenix in order for them to show themselves to prove that they are eligible for Social Security when there is minimal proof of any type of fraud when it comes to Social Security.
Let's move to the Education Department. It is on the chopping block. President Trump wants to get rid of it. It does appear that Republicans in Congress recognize that in this case, Congress has a role to play.
Well, yeah, because we're the ones that actually created the Department of Education.
And so Senator Bill Cassidy is preparing to put legislation on the floor. Is this a place for Democrats to stand and fight, filibuster, if that's possible, I don't know, by the rules, and just try to block it?
Well, I don't know what Senator Cassidy's bill is, but what we do know about the Department of Education is it provides some really important services, especially for places like Arizona, for kids that have special needs, kids that could be potentially discriminated against for different disabilities. It's also important because it's the Department of Education that provides for Pell Grants, the grants that were important for someone like me, a poor student, to be able to go to college. So, if this is the hill that some of my colleagues want to die on, they could do that. But at the end of the day, Americans understand the need for the Department of Education and the want to protect it.
Okay, I want to stamp this. We're talking on Friday, so lots can happen between now and the time.
Between now and when I get off the stage.
Yes. Want to end with an executive order with the president invoking emergency wartime powers to, it appears, allow mining almost anywhere of uranium and copper. Will that expose areas around the Grand Canyon to more uranium mining, areas in eastern Arizona to more copper mining?
It could. Look, we've worked, and really in a bipartisan manner, to protect the Grand Canyon. It is one of the most beautiful assets of this state. And we've had some horrible disasters with uranium mining out there that's affected our tribal nations and in general the Colorado River. It'd be a huge mistake for this president to have unregulated uranium mining on the Grand Canyon. I'm sure there are places around the country that we can find uranium, and I think we should actually be trying to figure out how to get critical minerals and get them fast. But if we do that to places, especially like the Grand Canyon, you're putting both the Grand Canyon tourism economy in danger, our tribal communities along there, our water system along there, and at the end of the day, it's just not worth that big risk.
Got to end it there. Senator Ruben Gallego, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Ben.
When we come back, will Adrian Fontes leave his Secretary of State job to run for Congress? And what happens to our elections if he does? But first, a troubled online charter school based in the Valley hires a lawyer who defended Donald Trump. And surprise, he went on the offensive against our reporter. 12 Plus is the streaming home of 12 News and where you can see all of our Sunday Square Off coverage. Download 12 Plus on your Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV devices right now.